So the 40 and forward really produced a benchmark for the last 50 years in the market in terms of high density stacking chairs. I mean, to a large degree it was the first chair that created this very, very high density niche, and it's been pretty much unaffected by market competition for years and years and years. So for us to get the sort of task or the challenge and be invited in by HOWE to design a new stacking chair was a really big demand and a big question.
Yeah, and I think to try and find a kind of cousin or sister or brother to that product is as big as it can get, because it's got so much clarity as a product
and history.
Market. Yeah, and history.
So to get the challenge of doing a new stacking chair, a two-part shell, was really a very demanding and challenging brief, and really forced us to look very carefully at the brief and ask ourselves, is this exactly the right brief, or is there actually a gap that we can find that will support the 40 and 4 rather than challenging it, and to a large degree produce a sister product. Yeah, so the comfort wasn't just in terms of the actual sit, it went all the way to moving around the chair. And as you're saying, the soft corners enable people to move around the chair, in and out of tight environments and cafes without catching a corner, but also it's non-prescriptive. So like we're sitting on these chairs here, it's very easy just to manoeuvre around without feeling inhibited in any way by the form. Yeah, so following on from this notion of micro and macro on the ergonomics, we've really tried to ensure that the chair, in every part of its detail, solves problems. So this idea of maintaining the maximum amount of comfort on the chair whilst minimising the footprint was really important, because obviously if you can get 15 chairs in a row as opposed to 14, that's a benefit for any specifier, but offer the same level of comfort. So the lines of the chair are soft and fluid, there are no corners on it, allowing you to sit sideways, forwards, and be informal or formal in the sitting. And also what was very important was that we maintain continuity of the ergonomics, independent of the size of the user. Now obviously with monoshells, what you'll find is that a large heavy user will deflect that monoshell and produce a very different set of ergonomics. So what we opted for, and we learnt a lot from the 40 and 4, it has a rigid sit, it doesn't open out when you sit on it. Really the aim is to make the product last as long as possible. So not only aesthetic neutrality should be the aim, but also ensuring that it's going to satisfy all the standards. And we've ensured that the arms, the ski leg, the foreleg, they all satisfy the EN and the BIFMA testing. And most of the competition can't actually do that. We've talked about the need for the chair to be neutral, so as it doesn't become redundant aesthetically, and it was important that the chair has a timeless quality. But at the same time, it's paradoxical, because as designers we want to ensure that it's got personality, that it's recognisable and understandable in terms of its identity, its values. One of the things that was very important for us was this quality of the back face and the lines, the aesthetics in terms of continuity of form that run around the chair. And then to support that, we spent a long time defining a bespoke texture, bespoke pattern for the back of the chair, which really has two purposes. One is a haptic, to provide an additional level of grip, and the other sort of physical attribute is that it's designed to make the chair easier to clean rather than a sparked finish. So we have a very positive identity, cleanability and haptic defined by that, which in a way is framed by the silhouette of the chair.
Yeah, we've also worked hard on the colour, so the plastic moulding can be coloured in a whole range, and we've also matched those colours into the powder coating of the frame colour, so that the options of the specification is really very enjoyable in the sense that you can have lots of different personalities within the chair.
Having said that, we've kept the range quite tight in terms of variants, and for the upholstered seat version, there's a very simple pad which is attached to the chair, and then in terms of stacking, a stacking pan fits underneath the shell, and this in no way affects the stacking continuity. And when we offer an armrest solution, all this fits within a designated stack height. So what we're ensuring is that if any one of these chairs got fitted into a non-armed or non-seated stack, you'd still be able to carry it away. So at all times the continuity of the functionality is being maintained.